try to make it new. You can't fight it when it feels so true. You drive me crazy like no one else. The final moment before I lose myself. And it's no use working 9 to 5 if you want more than to stay alive. So come on over, we can make it through. Take my hand, I know just what to do. On the beat, keep dancing through the night. Stay up until the morning light, the morning light. Oh, so come on over, we can make it through. Take my hand, I know just what to do. On the beat, keep dancing through the night. Stay up until the morning light, the morning light. Oh, the morning light. Oh, I just wanna be your Superman. Come fly with me, just take my hand.
Now, let's transition. Now, here we go. We talk about Mother's Day and we talk about all the beautiful things we can do. We talk about the different types of mothers and all that good stuff. But then, does the mother's work ever finish? Does it ever end? Do you tell me? Does it ever really end?
Actually, it never does. It's a never-ending story. It's a beautiful thing to be a mother. Grant that. It is hard work. It is dedication. It does take sacrifices. It's a hard work. If I probably, like, you just don't know until you are a mother. You really don't know. I had no idea, what it takes to be a parent. I had no idea. And as I said, it's a beautiful experience and one that I'll never change. I love being a mother, and I have so much to offer my son. He sees me as a role model, and I set rules and I support him in everything, but it's a lovely thing. It's a lovely, lovely, lovely thing is to be a mother, but the job is just never ending.
I like that. At the top of you said it's 24. Luanda said that it's 365 days of the year that you go into. Now, I don't understand why Mother's Day is only celebrated one day of the year. I could never get that. Mothers have been there from day one. They're nurtured. They're committed. Well, most mothers are. They make sacrifices. They've done a whole host of other stuff. They pray, all that good stuff. So why is it it's only one day in the year, 365 days in the year we have in the year, but it's only one day that's been celebrated for Mother's Day? I don't get that. We need to check. We need to talk to somebody. We need to talk to somebody. Because when you think about it, mothers, they go through a lot of stuff. First of all, they go through the pain of bringing the kids here. They go through all of that. And you tell me, out of 365 days in a year, you're going to have one day. Okay, you can have Secretary's Day. First of all, you have a day for everything. You have Secretary's Day, you have Flag Day, you have this day, you have parade day, whatever day. You have such a day, Dunkin' Donuts Day. You have every kind of day, right? But why is it that every day there's a day for everything? And they're maybe not as significant as mothers, but yet still, as significant as Mother's Day is, or mothers are, you only have one day. So you're lumping me, really and truly, you're lumping the mother with everything else that's out there. Valentine's Day. Okay, it's one day. Flag Day is one day. I think Mother's Day should be different. I think that Mother's Day should be every quarter.
Wow.
So
That's a thought.
so it's happening one day. I mean, we're getting closer. How many once a quarter? Mother's Day, January, February, March. What? At least one day in that quarter should be Mother's Day. Okay? April, May, June. July, August, September. October, November, December. Hello. So in other words, you're really making Mother's Day special. I know. Come on, talk to me, somebody. Help me out with this.
It's just, it's so amazing. Like, it's like they're saying, okay, this is the one day, you have one day to celebrate her. We're going to give you one day to do it. But she works all year long. So now we're only taking one day to celebrate. So I never really understood that. I'm sitting there like, mothers, and it's true, their jobs never end. I go back and I think about when it was time for my birthday party. I'm a grown adult. My birthday party, and I'm like, Ma, this doesn't look right. This doesn't look. And she's like, come on. Now my mother not feeling good, telling me to come on, let's go get in the car. She didn't even feel good. And she's like, come on, we're going to go find your shoes. I'm not going to be happy until we get everything done, because she was still in that mode. I'm an adult. And she was still in that mode of it has to be right, because she knew how I wanted it. And even not feeling good, yeah, long, it's all the time. It doesn't matter. They say, okay, when they get age 18, okay, they going, no, that's not true. Because you still need, I don't care how old you get, you still need your mother. I don't care. Yes, you do. So I feel like they should be celebrated daily, all the time. It's just not, shouldn't have to be one day. So we say, okay, you know what? This is the particular day that we recognize them. But they're recognized every day. Good or bad, they're recognized every day. So those, to me, I'm like, some would have to agree that I just think that it should be changed. I don't think it should just be one day that we just say, okay, now let's wait another 365 days. Okay, we'll celebrate you next. It's always the second Sunday in May. We'll wait till the next second Sunday in May for me to decide what I'm going to do for you. No. Wrong.
Drew, what you got?
That's funny. LaWanda mentioned that, you really don't get a rest day as a mother. Regardless if you're sick, if you're exhausted, whatever is going on in your day, there's no rest day for you, Mom. No. But you know what? Maybe I won't say every quarter have a Mother's Day, because that can get pretty expensive. But I'll say have it maybe twice a year. That's not bad. Right? Once every 6 months. Yeah.
But she's worth the money.
Yeah. Okay. So
she's worth the money. So this is matter. She's worth celebrating.
Okay.
Whether you have to spend anything or not, she's still worth to be celebrated.
Right. Okay. So on that note, listen to this. So the calendar dictate when we celebrate Mother's Day. That's a good one.
Right.
So the calendar, we should be celebrating our mothers. So the calendar say it's every second Sunday.
Right.
You're funny. the calendar say every second Sunday, all right? That's what the calendar says. But should we really, really wait until that time to celebrate our mothers? Really and truly. I think a mother should be celebrated every day.
Yeah.
I think that Mother's Day should be celebrated. Okay, now realistically, you may not have the time, so to speak, because you're working and you have your families, especially those people. Your mom may not be may not live with you, or you may not live with your mom. Your mom may be at a nursing home, or whatever the case may be, and so you're unable to really spend the time that you have with your mom. But look, this pandemic taught us how to use Zoom. If nothing else you get out of this, you know how to use Zoom. You know, everybody know how to have a Zoom party. Everybody and their mother, their grandmother, their sister, their brother, their auntie, even the dogs and the cats know how to get on the Zoom and they bark at each other. I am telling you, everyone knows how to have a Zoom party. It's the truth. It is. You see crazy commercials. Everyone knows how to get on Zoom. So what I'm saying is that even if you cannot see your mom, you know, or you celebrate your mom as per the calendar, how about even if it's just, you know, go and, you know, call your mom, FaceTime, you know, take your mom out as often, okay, as often as you can. The calendar say Mother's Day is this time, but how about you? How about you taking the time? Because what happened, what I find is that the restaurants in time past, the restaurants will be crowded today. Will be crowded on a Sunday. You can't even get a reservation because it's Mother. You can't even get a parking spot. Okay? Because what is Mother's Day? But what happens the week after? The same restaurant that was crowded the week before on Mother's Day, you go in there, you're probably the only one in that parking lot. You understand me? So what happened to celebrating mothers and not waiting for a dictated time that says it's Mother's Day? So because it's recognized that it's Mother's Day, that's when you're gonna be like, oh, well, yeah, it's Mother's Day. I'm gonna get my mom's and we're gonna go out to Red Lobsters and she's gonna eat all the red lobsters that she can eat. But then what happens to the next week? Okay, let's look at it this way. It's your wedding anniversary. All right. Your anniversary is once a year. Do you celebrate your husband only once a year?
No. It's a good question, but no. I mean, I could answer that right away. No, because, you know, first of all, he's my husband. Second of all, he's wonderful. You know, third of all, I'm blessed. And fourth of all, he's great. Okay. So, you know, I'm like every day, okay, you know what? Hey, time to celebrate you again. I don't have to wait for our anniversary to come to celebrate you. Okay. Hello. No. You know, because when you realize who they are and why do you have to wait? First of all, you don't even know what is even promised. You don't even know you don't even know. So I tell people, when you can celebrate people every time you can, celebrate them, because things change in a moment. They change and you're in one place and then all of a sudden it's something different. You know, all of a sudden that person is here, now they're gone. So you have to take those moments and cherish them. So I always tell people, I don't wait for no date to celebrate nobody. No, let's just do it. It doesn't have to be special. Who cares? Let's just do it. You know, life is worth living. I don't care. Let's pull out the confetti. Let's pull out the balloons. Let's do it. We don't have to wait. What are you waiting for? Life is worth living. What are you waiting for? Let's celebrate. What are you waiting for?
Yes.
Like go ahead, Bree.
Because you know what? The time is now. The time is not that dictated date that is put on the calendar. The time is now. Celebrate me now while I am alive. But you know what? Even celebrating mothers, Dawn said, celebrate them every day. It doesn't even mean that you have to go out and take them to dinner. Simple little things. A little note. I love you. I appreciate you. Simple little, you know, things like that. That's a celebration within itself. It doesn't have to be anything big and elaborate. A little text. Mom, I love you. Mom, I'm thinking of you. Mom, thank you. Thank you for today. Thank you for that lovely dinner you made. Simple things. That's what counts.
Yep, I like that, Dree. So which means that we all agree here. Because it's not, you know, like I said before, and everyone even, you know, agreed that it's, you know, when it's your anniversary, I want to say that so eloquently, because it's your anniversary. You're not going to wait until just your anniversary to tell your husband that you love them, right? You're not going to wait until his birthday to say, do something special for him. Yes, you will, but it's not until first of all, he's with you every day, you know? Sometimes I go to my husband, I just hug him, and I'm like, oh, honey, I love you. And I just look at him, and then he's like, what happened? I'm like, oh, you're the sweetest. Oh, he'll just, I appreciate you. He'll just, and then he looking at me like, come here, and then we just give each other a hug. We're hugging all the time. When I walk in the door, when I leave, I can't leave the house without giving my husband a kiss. Where my kiss at? I could be rushing to the door. I have my tea in my hand. I'm running out the door. I have to turn around and I have to give him a hug. I have to give him a kiss. You understand what I mean? What happened is you love that person. You love that person, and you should have practice with your mom. Because then you live with your mom for a certain period of time, and you have that practice before you even get, to live with your spouse. So yes, sometimes the relationship is not as great, but it's still your mother. Okay, it's still your. You make it great. You make it great. Sometimes some people are very, very difficult to deal with, but how about you? You make the change. You know what nags her? Don't nag her, because every day, Dries said it so nicely. Celebrate every day. It does not have to be the flowers every day or every week. It's a simple phone call, FaceTime, because you live now. You do not know what's going to happen tomorrow. You do not know what's going to happen next week. We have so many people just, falling off the, just going, this God's calling them home. You do not know when that time is, and don't wait until it's too late. Oh, you know what? I thought I'm doing this and I can't. How about you live your life like, you know what? I'm going to call my mom. I'm going to say to my mom, Mom, I love you. I appreciate you. And those words, she could be having a rough day, you don't know. But those words could be the words that will brighten her day. Send her a smiley face, because I know everybody knows how to use a cell phone these days. Come on now. Even a 6-year-old can use a cell phone. Send your mom a nice FaceTime, or send your mom a nice FaceTime her, send your mom a nice little, sticky note or something like that, a GIF or something, I love you. Son, do something nice. I'm not saying it has to be every day, what have you. It doesn't have to be every day. But even if you take the time out once a week to check in, see how they're doing. You know what I mean? And I'm encouraging myself to check in, see how they're doing, because it doesn't take that. It doesn't take much. It's a simple phone call. If you haven't done it before, start doing it. Because one thing COVID of this season has taught us is to come close together. You may not be able to come close together in terms of, proximity, in terms of, in the same space, but you call and check upon that person. Because one minute you hear that person is here, next minute you know that they're not here. So take this time, take this season, take this opportunity that every chance you get. Don't wait until next Mother's Day to be singing the same tune. Oops, I forgot. Don't let the commercials on the television remind you that it's Mother's Day. Don't let the calendar remind you that it is Mother's Day. How about you reminding yourself that, you know what, in spite of what the relationship was with my mom, or, whatever the case may be, I'm going to celebrate because life is too short. One thing we know during this season, that life is too short. You're here today and you're gone today. And what you want to do, you don't want to have any regrets. And yes, you may feel remorse or whatever the case may be. But once you have the opportunity to make a change, make a change. And what that change is going to be. Going forward, I'm going to celebrate my mother at least once a week by even calling, FaceTiming, let the grandkids know that this is grandma. This is, say I love you. Train them to be in communication with grandma. You understand what I mean? And don't be so angry, or don't be so angry all the time. Share some love. Come on now. Share the love. It's a season where there's so much going on, but I'm sure you can find some love in your heart. Remember when syndrome. The remember the good things syndrome. Remember when we did this. Remember when we did that. And capitalize on that. Remember when we went to the park together. Think about something that you did, something that was funny and that was exciting. You know what I mean? Don't dwell on the past. Don't dwell on the negative stuff. Just think of all the good things that you've shared and celebrate. Right, Lawanda?
Yeah.
Let's celebrate.
That's right. Let's celebrate. I agree. Let's celebrate. I'm all about celebrating. I'm big on that. I just am. And I always say, you don't need a whole bunch of people to celebrate either. It's like, hey, celebrate. Let's do it. I'm big on that. Always have been. And I just believe in just, taking it one day at a time, living life is coming. Yes, the day's today. I always say, you know what? I deal with today, and when tomorrow gets here, I'll deal with it. It's not here yet. So you finish out today. When tomorrow gets here, you'll deal with it. It's not there. So keep living, keep enjoying it, and you blessed to see tomorrow. Hey, it's another new day. Keep on moving. Let's do it again. So that's just the way that you live. That's how you live it, and that's how you'll keep going and just keep encouraging yourself. And there's nothing wrong with celebrating. No, not at all. People make it seem like it has to be so big. Not necessarily. Not at all. And when you can just take the little things and really celebrate people just for who they are. Because sometimes, like we said, it's a simple text. It's a simple kind of just says, I love you. I just want you to know I love you. That goes a long way. You don't realize, but maybe that's that day that they needed that text. You don't know where they were that day. Maybe that's the phone call that they needed. You don't know, because everybody doesn't always tell you how they feel. You think but they're not always going to tell you that, because sometimes they don't want you to worry, so they won't even say anything to you. So you never know how just that text and how that phone call can really, really make a big difference in someone's life.
That is so true. It is important. I believe that it really is important. Like for me, I do try my very best. Times get busy, but I do try my very best to at least, check in at least 3 times a week with a phone call. If there's no phone call, I will try to text and say, hey, Mom, have a blessed day. Have a wonderful day. I love you. Simple. Doesn't have to be anything big and drastic, but just that connection, and then, and she in reverse, she will text me back and say, I'm praying for you. Have an awesome day. Today is your day. Simple. And that, I may be going through something that day, and those couple words makes a big difference. So it's so important to stay connected. Forget about what happened yesterday. Forget about the dispute that you may have 15 years ago, that you had last week, that you had it 3 hours ago. Today is the day. Celebrate one another. Love on each other.
Dree, I love that. You said something that is so profound. I'm going to capitalize on that a little bit, because you said that argument that you had 15 years ago. We're like, really? This is like 2021. Are you going to hold on to that? Are you going to not move on or say, I love you, or hey, Mom, or whatever case, because of that argument that you had 15 years ago? We spoke about that before, about forgiveness. All right. We spoke about that. I'm so happy that you see, full circle. This is so important in our everyday life. Forgiveness, loving, all that stuff. Because hear this. Mother's Day is here upon us. And what you're going to do, you're hold on to something that happened, God knows when, and you're going to hold on to that, and you're not going to say, let it go, so you can move on, so you can even say freely from the bottom of your heart, Happy Mother's Day, or I love you, or whatever the case may be. We are going to we told you what to do. We told you what to do a long time ago. Get rid of that. Okay, get rid of that, because relationships are so important. Relationships are so important, and not only for mothers, but we have so many different types of relationships out there, and it's so important for us to live our life that be happy, somebody. It is too short for you to walk around with your face all sad and like the whole world is on your back and you're carrying a truckload of stuff. Your mama has done so much for you. Plenty of you, most of you. And you may have some that is not so, up to par, I would say. You may have the stepmother who probably played a bigger role in your life than your actual mom. But then guess what happened? Whenever it is that you find the time, or you can find within your heart to even reach out to that mom and say something, right? Or you write a letter. Your mom is still alive, still write a letter. I love it. Even if it's just when she opens it, just say, I love you. That is still good. I like that. Write a letter. In these day and time, I don't write letters anymore. Do they even sell stamps? Just write a letter just to say, I love you. Listen, they removed the telephone boxes from there, right? We used to have telephone boxes that's out there. They removed them from this. So I don't even know if they still have stamps on it, because everything is a text and all that stuff now, But then at the same time too, there's some things that you hold there, because some people, all they need is just an encouraging word. But I'm going to give you a tip. This is dropping my spirit. Adopt a mom. Adopt a mom. You may not have your mom, but adopt a mom. How about that? That's new. That's just dropping my spirit while we were talking. Adopt a mom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, I like that.
I like it.
Oh boy, adopt a mom. We're going to talk about that in our next segment. Adopting a mom. Like you adopt a child. You don't have to go through all the legal stuff, all of that. But I'm sure that there's someone out there who, you may see, and maybe it's your neighbor, or whatever the case may be. Maybe it's your neighbor, maybe someone that you see at the grocery store so many times. And every time you go to the grocery store, you see that lady, and you see that, the old little ladies, just walking about trying to get her groceries. And you may have helped her along the way a few times over. You know what I mean? So what happened is you said, and she may say, thank you, darling, for helping me. You're such a kind little thing. And that lady could be the sweetest lady. But we're going to talk about that. Adopt a mom. What do you say, girls? You like that? We're going to talk about that. So in our next segment, we're going to talk about adopting a mom. How do you go about doing that? And what's entailed in adopting a mom? We're going to brainstorm that for you. I'm going to tell you how you can make this Mother's Month. We're going to call it a Mother's Day month. How we can do a Mother's Month, right? We're going to do that for you. So in our next segment, we're going to talk about adopt a mom. All right? Good. Now, until next time, we're going to say bye. See you later. Take care.
Bye.
So here we go again, it's no surprise, 'cause we know better than to roll the dice. So take this love and try to make it new. You can't fight it when it feels so true. You drive me crazy like no one else. The final moment before I lose myself. And it's no use working 9 to 5.